Hello and congratulations on being close to the close of week 3. As we wrap up week 3, we know that we covered chapter 7 and chapter 8. Those are two of the longer chapters that we will be covering. They're also two of the most applicable chapters that we will be covering because we go through some of the major functions. Those major functions broken out between the categories of the homepage being that we have the customer section, the accounts payable section, or the vendor section, and the employee section. And we did things like entering the bills, entering the invoices, receiving bills, paying bills, issuing invoices, credit memos, and this type of thing, and of course processing payroll. Those are the day-to-day operations. That's what the accounting department mainly does most of the time. But remember that in a large company, we would probably be working in one of those sections within the homepage. Most likely, we would be specializing more. For in a small company, if we're doing just bookkeeping for a smaller company, we may be doing all of that. But of course, the volume will be less in that case. So those are the two kind of extremes that we would have. It's good to know all the different areas in any case because we want to see the whole picture so we can see how our department relates to the other department so that when we do have to deal with the other department, we can have an idea of what it is that they need over there. So next time we're going to, well, just remember that the assignments will be open for the next week so you can complete them for late work on the next week, although you could get marked off for the late work on that. Also note that we had some issues with the assignments and the links in the assignments, and that's why we put the backup file here. And I also put some of the links here because those go directly to the YouTube page rather than to the other website, so they might be able to open better on a phone or a tablet. Going forward, I'm told that the Moodle rooms, the links are working now, so we shouldn't have these outside. They should be inside like they were originally. So if that caused any problems this week, sorry about that. I'm told that everything is up and running going forward. Remember, they get those quizzes in there by Sunday because they are due on Sunday. Charter policy is much more strict in terms of allowing late work for quizzes than anything else. And the quizzes are multiple choice, so try to get those done by the end of Sunday. If you can't complete the assignments, get as much in there as you can. If you run into a time constraint, make sure to do the quiz and then do as much of the assignments as you can. Let me give you some feedback on it. And then if you have to continue on it and turn some in for the late work, then do so. We're going to go into week 4 next time. And of course, we're just going to move forward from chapter 9, 10, and 11. Some of the key topics there will be that we're going to do adjusting entries. Adjusting entries are like chapter 3 type entries on your major textbook if you wanted to review it there and then go into what we're going to do here. And we're going to have to use journal entries there, which is something that we've kind of avoided in QuickBooks. QuickBooks, remember, is trying to avoid the kind of journal entries because that means that people have to have a good understanding of debits and credits. So we've been working with registers and forms, which actually generate those journal entries. And here, you can't really avoid journal entries in the adjusting process. So remember, this is the adjusting process. We'll have to do journal entries within there. It'll walk you through that in the book. And then we're going to get into budgeting. Budgeting being something that most people, I find, they think it's very practical in terms of both on the business side as well as personal planning. A lot of people tend to really like the budgeting section and find it as something that's very practical. So that's something that we will cover in week 4 as well. So congratulations on closing up week 3.